Who is going to be the man? The first video I saw this morning on my For You page was a grown black man, handsome young black man, crying, whining, weeping, talking about we are in 1930s Germany, comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, as always. Literally whining about the fact that the National Guard has been deployed in D.C. We told y'all not to vote for him. What more do y'all need to see? This is 1930s Germany. And if it actually were, do you think that whining to your camera phone, to your front-facing camera phone from the safety of your home is going to do anything? Where are the actual militant black men? Where are your spines? These same whining, spineless, sit down when they pee, crying, scary acting black men who are acting like this now are the same black men who was bowing down during slavery, the same black men who was bowing down during Jim Crow and actually doing what these people told y'all to do. Y'all scary acting. And all y'all doing is crying. First of all, if I were Jewish, if I were actually a survivor or a victim of the Holocaust, I would be extraordinarily offended by the fact that y'all keep on comparing what's going on now to whatever the hell was going on back then. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I'm starting to not believe anything that I've been told about anything about history at all. But I know for sure, ain't nobody being just rounded up, okay? We're not just being rounded up, and we're not being just thrown into camps. Be so for real. But even if that were happening, you have no fight in you. The most fight that you have in you is getting on your camera phone and whining and posting it to the internet and then going about your day, going on your run or going to Starbucks or going to Target or doing whatever you're going to do, or y'all still boycotting Target, doing whatever you're going to do. You're not actually doing anything to resist the government. You're not actually doing anything to resist empirical powers at all. You're just talking and whining on the internet and then continuing to be a very privileged American. You're privileged enough to get on your camera phone and say what you're saying about the president. And I personally have not been negatively impacted at all by this man being president. I didn't vote for him, but I also didn't vote for anybody else either. I feel no negative effects of his presidency. So I'm not about to go on the internet and repeat talking points just because somebody told me to say them. Because my life is actually better now that he's been president. In what ways has your life actually been impacted negatively by his presidency? And if it hasn't, shut up. Let the people who have been negatively impacted by his presidency speak. Let's hear what they have to say. But if your life has actually not changed at all, and you're just on the internet repeating what you've been told and being emotionally manipulated by left-leaning news, STFU. This is ridiculous.
First of all, I'd like to say, fuck you, Donald Trump. Donald Trump moving the homeless out of D.C., telling them he's going to take them far away. He's going to move them far away. Where the fuck are they supposed to go? Are they going to go to Alligator Alcatraz? Or maybe the new Speedway Slammer from my old town of Indianapolis? What a joke. And for those who are like, oh, what are you going to do? Well, I actually housed a homeless person for a year, so I know a little bit about it. I have some compassion, unlike the orange fucking clown. And then DC, you're sending in the National Guard to take over the police's duty. Well, let's see, Donald, all the towns you're talking about have black mayors that you want to take over and put the National Guard in. One more reason that we all know you're a fucking racist. So let's end this video with fuck you, Donald Trump.
Y'all are gonna pretend things are normal until you're dead. There's no other way of putting that, right? Because I had a friend message me yesterday after a post I put up talking about anybody with a platform needs to have the moral courage and the duty to say something about all the atrocities, the litany of hardships that we're facing as a society right now. And he messaged me and he said, you know, I hear you, but I'm trying to have a balance, you know, and I got bills to pay. I don't want to get my stuff messed up talking too much about all these issues. Not everybody can be political. And he's like, not everybody can be you. Dog, do y'all think that y'all are the only ones who enjoy joy? Do y'all think y'all the only ones who have bills to pay? I don't get paid to talk about the issues that are facing our society. I don't get paid to talk about how same-sex marriage is going to be taken up by the Supreme Court more than likely. I don't get paid to talk about Trump taking over Washington, D.C. I don't get paid to talk about what's happening in Gaza. I don't get paid for these things. I get paid to write books. I have a novel that came out that I'm barely selling, and that was just a few months ago that it dropped because there's more important issues right now. I mean, shit. I'm in the gym right now, about to run on a treadmill. I don't even like running on treadmills. I like running outside, but I can't because I'm in Austin right now, and there was just a mass shooting 5 minutes away from where I am right now. So I don't feel comfortable running outside. That's not normal. I'm not gonna pretend things are normal. That's not normal. I can't even enjoy a run because there was a mass shooting that's national news right now 5 minutes from where I'm at. Now, I'm not gonna pretend things are normal. And yes, I have books to sell, and yes, I wanna take walks in the park and not think about anything. I wanna talk about I wish I could have a platform just based on my books, my favorite movies, my favorite music to listen to, and my favorite food. But no, there are more important things right now. And so yeah, we can find balance, but like not saying anything and not doing anything, that's a choice. Because you're not actually finding balance, you're just not doing shit.
Police often don't have anything to do. Almost all of us have passed by a cop car and the cop is just sitting in the car or on the computer or on the phone doing nothing. They literally have to put in quotas to get cops to do their jobs at times, and even then they take the laziest route to do it and set speed traps or hide themselves or make up tickets to reach these quotas. They're sitting on the clock. They're waiting to be called. And this is why police departments often create crime, which is why when cops increase their presence, it doesn't necessarily mean a place is safer. It often means the opposite because they now have to create work for themselves. And I think we see this playing out in Washington, D.C. right now. These cops are here as well as 800 National Guard members standing on sidewalks and just surveillancing with nothing to do. And in order to find something to do, they're going to start creating crime. And a lot of this crime will be created off of people reacting to the fact that they're now being over-policed without asking for it and with no means to stop it. And it's very sinister because this fake labor is then dressed up and marketed as though it's keeping us all safe, when actually they made the environment even more unsafe to produce labor for themselves and make themselves look as though they are needed when oftentimes they aren't. When you have a force that has been remarketed from being slave catchers into a safety keeper for society, it's not surprising that pretty soon society is seen as a group of people worthy of enslavement to their own safety keepers. These police are not needed in Washington, D.C. Crime rates in the city have been lower than they have in previous years, and the president knows that there's a lot of fake labor that goes into policing, and he struck a deal with them to give them even more fake labor that will eventually be made to look real through the criminalization of everyday people.
Okay, buckle up, Buttercup, and prepare yourself for all the rivers of liberal tears that are gonna start flowing like crazy because Trump said today, after the National Guard cleans up D.C., he's seriously considering using his federal powers to go into New York, Chicago, and L.A. with the National Guard, being those mayors refuse to do anything about the crime in their cities, and the governors won't do anything about the crime in their states. Trump wants to send the National Guard in to out-of-control cities. And when they start having these different protests, you know, they're riots that they call protests, wherever they're doing them, sending the National Guard. Prepare yourself, because the liberals are going to be screaming that this is just Trump trying to be a dictator. He's just trying to take over everything. but he's not. He's actually trying to get the crime levels under control. So, this is going to get fun. I'm here for this one. Hey, who made the popcorn? Who has the popcorn for the show? And did anybody bring Mr. Pibb? Just curious. Typically don't drink it, but I'd probably make an exception in this case. This is getting good.
Yesterday, I think we all learned he's not playing no more. I want to know why it wasn't talked about on the news more. Why weren't we being told that the crime rate in our capital was so bad that we're being compared to other countries? You know, countries that are at the top of that list. The next question we have to ask, why now? Is there more to the story? Are indictments about to roll out? I know he kept saying he was going to do it, but why the hard push for it now? Why the refusal to accept nothing less? I think if you're not asking those questions, you're fooling yourself. That's just my opinion. Overall, moral of the story, Americans are tired of it. And we're glad to see something's finally being done about it. So, leave your thoughts in the comments. Feel free. I'll listen to all sides, whatever your argument might be. Have a great day, and don't forget, do something nice for somebody today.
Telling the fucking homeless to move the fuck out, but where the fuck you gonna put them? Now that your big, ugly fucking bill cut every fucking thing. Medicaid, which provides the fucking services for the fucking homeless, what fucking services will they have now? So you want to cut Medicaid, which provides the services for substance abuse and mental fucking health. So if those populations go untreated, they become the fucking homeless. And you're not going to provide any fucking assistance for them because you cut all the fucking programs that they're dependent upon. What motherfucking aid will they get now that you cut all of that shit out? You ain't going to be able to fucking do shit for the homeless because you don't give a fuck about the homeless, because when you wrote the fucking big ugly fucking bill, you canceled them the fuck out. So you want to move them the fuck out, put them on a fucking plane, call your motherfucking governor in fucking Florida, DeSantis, put them in that motherfucking new prison, or call another motherfucking red state in Texas, get them the fuck out of here. You don't give a fuck where they go, but get them out of your fucking sight. That's your fucking solution for helping the fucking homeless. Get them the fuck out of my sight.
The U.S. could soon have a National Guard unit ready to deploy anywhere in the country within 1 hour to respond to protests, with the Pentagon pushing a plan for what it called a domestic civil disturbance quick reaction force. 600 troops would be based across Alabama and Arizona, pulled from Guard units in over a dozen states. It could also cost hundreds of millions of dollars to keep aircraft and crews ready 24/7, though commercial flights are also being considered. The earliest launch looks to be 2027 unless they find a way to fund it sooner. Right? Notably, this is not the first time this has been considered. A similar task force was quietly prepped in 2020 during election tensions. As far as the reactions, critics are saying that it's unnecessary, saying crime's down, protests are rare, and there's no major unrest. Experts also warn it could pull Guard resources away from natural disasters and emergencies, and it raises serious legal questions, especially as Trump's already deployed troops domestically multiple times. And so with all this, you have some seeing it as a PR move, others as a dangerous test run, and that is California is even suing over a previous troop deployment, and that case is in court now. And while the ruling against Trump in that trial could set new limits on his power to send troops into U.S. cities, you have many saying that the real question is, when does this stop being a test and it starts becoming policy?
Donald Trump is so smart to send in the National Guard to Washington, D.C. to reduce the crime rate that has already hit a 30-year low. Because the National Guard is truly the only answer to making sure that the unhoused and crime rates reduce. Meeting them with violence is going to resolve all of the problems that we are seeing in Washington, D.C. Even though all the research papers and research programs clearly show that to reduce the unhoused population and to reduce crime rates in a city more so means that you have to supply them with basic needs like housing, food, education. What's crazier is that Donald Trump is actively taking those tools away and thinks that just replacing them with the National Guard is the answer. It's almost like he wants to create more civil unrest for him to gain more power.